Anyway, I haven't done this before, talked and told a story. I haven't told this story because it is so weird and out there, but I decided I've had 2 glasses of wine and I'm going to tell this story, whatever. I didn't know it was a family thing, and I can tie it into a family thing in kind of a downer way, but so I'll do that because that's the theme, right? So I have a son, and when he was 4 years old, his father passed away, and after the funeral, I was really into like Native American culture, really, really into it, and I decided I was going to pack him up, and we were going to take a trip, and we were going to go to the Great Smoky Mountains and have a little vision quest. And we actually did that. So I packed him up, and we went to the Great Smoky Mountains, and we stayed for a couple of days right on the Indian reservation, and it was very healing and enlightening and interesting. And on our last day, I went and took him to a little diner on the reservation, and we were sitting there, and my son at that time, he's 4 years old, and he has an afro of white curls. I mean, his hair was probably this big, all white and curly, and we're sitting there at the diner, and these 2 Native American men walked up and came up to the table, and the one older man, he looked to be about 90, and he had one eye, and he walked up to our table and he just started laughing. And his younger friend who was with him, could have been his son, I don't know for sure, said, just, never mind him, he's old, and like, it's okay. And then he started touching my son's hair, and boing, 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 boing off my son's hair. And it was like, do you want to sit down? I mean, I didn't know what to do at this point. It was very awkward. So they sat down. And they asked me where I was from, and I said I was from Ohio, and I told them why we were there, and the older man stared with his one eye the whole entire time across from me, totally speechless. He said nothing except when he chuckled at my son's hair, and the younger guy said that he was a very revered medicine man on the reservation, and that when he walked in, he was very attracted to us, and just wanted to join us. And I'm like, okay, so does this mean I'm gonna die? I didn't know. I was freaked out. This guy had really intense vibes, but finally I said, well, we have to go. I have to get back on the road. We're leaving today and heading back to Ohio. And the younger guy shook my hand and said, it was very nice to meet you. And he left for a minute, and the older guy just sat there. And I'm like, we gotta go. Nice to meet you. And he looked at me with a one eye, which was, he didn't have a fake eye. It was no patch. It was just, there was an eye missing. But he looked at me and goes, well, I will see you later today. He said, no, we're leaving straight from here, heading back to Ohio. I won't, but it was so nice to meet you. Thanks for coming up to the table and talking to us. He said, I will see you later today. I'm like, okay then, we're gonna, sure, that works. We'll see you later today. So we get in the car, and I start driving, and on the reservation where I was, it's a lot of windy roads through the woods until you get back into like anything normal, like a highway or whatever. So I'm driving, and I'm going through, and all of a sudden, this crow, by the way, this old man, his name was Crow. So this humongous crow kind of swoops around the car, and I'm like, that's really cool, whatever. I'm leaving an Indian reservation, and there's this big crow. And it landed right in front of my car. And I'm like, okay. So I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. It's a really small road. I can't get around the crow. So I get out of the car to shoo him. I'm going to shoo this crow away so I can go about my business. So I get out of the car. The crow doesn't move. I don't startle it. And I swear to God, this is true. This is so flipped out. I get up to the crow. It has one eye. Right. I swear to God, this happened. And I looked at it, and it starts cawing. I'm like, okay, this is the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me, but let's put it into perspective. I mean, there's something really weird here. It wouldn't move. I get back in the car, and I'm trying to think this out. And the crow walks closer to the car, and then it lifts off, and it comes right by the window, caws at me, and leaves. And I left, and I went home, and so if you think about it, I met a guy who was a medicine man, and obviously a shapeshifter, if you believe in that, because that happened to me. I experienced this. And his name was Crow. He had one eye. He insisted he would see me later. And then a crow landed in front of my car with one eye. And that's the end of my story.